1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I will try to stay on track this time. We'll see how fucking good I do. This is more like a personal history lesson than reading the story because I fucking cut out so many times. But such is life. And besides, isn't that the point? Do you really just want to gun through the whole story and just be like, that wasn't funny, that was lame, and you're a loser? Or do you want to actually hear the story behind it, you know? Anyway, where was I? Okay, Rick. Yeah, your regular Richard Pryor. Cut to downstairs. Carl is playing video games with a slightly older version of Aiden from The Ring. In parentheses parody, because I did a whole parody of The Ring. I should find that. The only problem is I don't have the paper version anymore. I only have a version on my computer, and it was on my fucking other computer, and so it's all like encrypted or whatever now. And so, because I used to have a Mac at one point, but I usually use PC, and so it's still in Mac format, and you can't read it on a PC. I have to like put it on somebody else's Mac and like whatever. Anyways, I'll figure it out someday, some way, and I'll print it out and read it. Cause I liked the parody I did of The Ring. That was fucking funny to me, and I had a great time writing. It was one of my first ones, and I used to be scared of the movie The Ring, and then I did that parody, and now I fucking am not scared of it anymore. Only problem is, at the time when I was like finishing it, like I think the end is not as good as the beginning, because in the beginning it was just straight up just fucking jokes and shit, but near the end I started getting like really, because I was writing it in high school. I started to get really fucking into Pearl Jam around the time when I was finishing the story. So because they're from Seattle, or they're a Seattle band, and because The Ring takes place in Seattle, I had to kind of like incorporate them in there, and I think it takes away a little bit from the fucking humor. But fuck it, who gives a fuck? That's a good thing. You don't have to give a shit when you're a regular citizen. You just do what you want to fucking do. Anyways, where was I? Okay, from The Ring parody. In other words, he's blonde, pale, insomniatic looking, and gothic. Aiden tosses the game controller aside. I'm bored. Where do your dads keep their guns? Carl doesn't even look up. Top of the fridge. But if you wait like 10 minutes, I bet they'll start doing one of their role plays. Aiden, what's a role play? Carl. It's like... Cut to a flashback. Carl is sitting downstairs watching Geraldo, which I've never seen, I've only heard of. I've seen Jerry, of course, and I've seen fucking, oh my god, my dad used to watch Steve Wilkos all the time. All the fucking time. When I was, like, in middle school / high school, he would have Steve Wilkos on. It became, like, a joke, too, in the house, because he thought that shit was dumb. He didn't think it was cool, but I don't know, he was watching it for some fucking reason. But anyways, I've seen those, but I haven't actually seen Geraldo. I think Geraldo is a little bit too old for me, but I've heard of it, Okay, where was I? Carl's sitting downstairs watching Geraldo and playing that game where you stab a knife between your fingers, using his Boy Scout issued pocket knife. Then we hear Shane's voice from upstairs. Shane, nervously. Who are you people? What are you doing in my house? Curly's voice. Shut up. Keep your mouth shut and maybe we'll be easy on you. Shane. Get away from me, I'm calling the cops. There's the sound of some struggling and scuffle from upstairs. Rick threatening him. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Shane, get away from me. Curly, get him. There's more scuffling and struggling, but more violent this time, and some shit gets knocked to the floor. Carl pauses in his knife game and looks up. Shane, voice cracks. Stop it! Leave me alone! Carl pauses for a moment, shrugs it off, and goes back to the knife game. Just then, a neighbor peeks in the window out of nowhere. Neighbor. Hey boy, how's it going? Carl shrugs but doesn't look up. Neighbor. Keeping the old reflexes sharp, I see. Good on you, boy. That's an important skill to have. Well, I was gonna ask to borrow the antifreeze, but I can tell your folks is busy, so I'll just help myself. See ya. He leaves. End flashback. Cut to Carl and Aiden gaming, but now they're drinking beers. Carl. Hey. Aiden. Yeah? Carl. I would so do things to Quan Chi. Is that weird? Aiden. Nah, man, that's what's up. I'm sure I think they're playing Mortal Kombat 10, right? Mortal Kombat X, because that's what had come out at that time. Everyone looks good in that game, because they're all anime. Like anime, but not traditional anime. Like, it's like, they're, like, partially made to look, like, realistic-ish, but then also partly made to look anime, so it's kind of like half and half, you know how video game characters look. Alright. Aiden stretches and then finishes off his beer and gets up off the couch. Aiden, I'm gonna go check out that top of the fridge deal. Go ahead without me for a little bit. Carl, okay, that's cool. Aiden disappears off into the kitchen. Pretty soon, Curly comes downstairs in slippers and a pink bathrobe, with the chest open and part of her black lacy bra showing. Carl, where's Dad? Curly, he's in the shower with your pa. I ought to check on them soon. Make sure no one fell asleep in there. Haha. Well, that's my boys. Always working themselves too hard. She lights a cigarette and looks around the room. Curly, where's your little friend? Carl, he went to go shoot himself. Curly, huh? You kids. She goes and wanders off into the kitchen. 2-second pause. Curly, the hell is this? She comes back out of the kitchen, tracking bloody footprints, carrying a paper. Oh, she fucked up her slippers. Man. Where was I? Carrying a paper bag full of recycling. Curly, Carl, did you do something in here? There's blood all over the floor. Carl, wasn't me. Curly, ugh, I knew it. It was probably one of the guys. She digs in the recycling bag and pulls out some soda and beer cans, which she starts putting in her hair like rollers. Curly calls up the stairs. Shane, Rick, how many times I gotta tell you? If you hurt yourself, you gotta mop it up. I ain't running a kindergarten here. She shakes her head, mutters to herself, I swear. She goes back into the kitchen. Curly, and someone left the back door open too. Keep it together, boys. She goes over to close the back door. There's a big-ass puddle of blood on the floor that runs out the door and down the back stairs into the yard. She sees the neighbor out there, crouched in the grass. You know, the same neighbor as before, the one who wanted the antifreeze. Curly squints, sees that he's acting strange. Hey, Buck, what you doing out there? You alright? Buck, zombie-ish grumbling as he chews on Aiden's torn-up shirt. Curly, hey, don't you hear me? I know you hear me. Quit ignoring me, goddammit. Lord help me if there's one thing I can't stand is being ignored. Yeah, tell him like it is. Buck drops the shirt and stands up, staggering over towards Curly. You know what fucking pisses me off when you're having this used to happen to me all the time at work. And I eventually learned to just accept it when I became a big-ass stoner, but it still pisses me off, kinda. When you're having a conversation with somebody else, and a third person comes up, and they just fucking start talking. They don't even acknowledge the fact that you guys were saying something. They're just like, I'm here now, I'm taking over, you guys can shut the fuck up, because I'm here. It's just like, God, like, have a little consideration, but you know, no, we're in America, there's no such thing as consideration. Everyone's a fucking animal here. Anyways, where was I? Okay, Buck drops the shirt and stands up, staggering over towards Curly. Curly, that's more like it. Her smile drops off her face when she sees that he's all bloody and limping, and making zombie growls. Curly, oh Buck, you don't look so good. Will, what the hell? Come inside and I'll clean you up. I'm already taking care of 3 boys, so what's one more? He creeps up to the door, groaning and drooling like he has rabies, and looking at Curly with a soulless stare in his eyes. Curly, Buck? She tilts her head. What's wrong with you? Finally, he lunges at her and grabs her with his slimy hands, trying to bite her. Curly, son of a bitch! She yanks away from him and runs over to the fridge, grabs one of the guns, and turns around and shoots Buck right between the eyes. His brains splatter into the yard. He freezes in place for a second and then collapses back onto the back steps. What kind of handgun do you think they have? Rick and Shane each have one, so what kind? What kind do you think? Do you think it's just the same shit they use for work? Or you think they have, like, no, this is not police regulation, but this one's just for me, you know? Like, I don't know guns, but, you know, just something to think about. Let me see. He freezes in place for a second and then collapses back into the back steps. Curly comes running over, now all sweaty and breathing hard, and pushes him out the door with her foot before slamming it shut in his dead-ass face. That's funny, because dead-ass has a different meaning now. Curly, holy Christmas, calls into the next room. And you know what's funny? I also thought it was funny to do, like, the fucking, believe it or not, I used to think this was funny to do the fucking, like, you know, Batman and Robin thing where you say holy something, you know, but whereas he would make it wholesome, I like to make it nasty and unwholesome. So, I don't know, I just thought this shit was funny for some reason. Say, like, instead of saying, like, holy shit or holy Christ or some basic ass bitch thing like that, you say something nobody would expect. Like, Holy sandpaper. I don't know. I thought that shit was funny for some reason. Okay, Carl, you was wrong. Your little friend didn't shoot himself. I found the guns right where they're supposed to be. Carl, okay. Just then, Rick and Shane come down the stairs and into the kitchen. Shane is wearing just some regular everyday clothes, but Rick still has on the sex costume. Shane, hey, check it out. You gotta see this new trick that Rick learned in the pen. What, when he was fucking in a coma? Okay. It's a maze. Curly cuts him off. Later. She grabs a calendar off the side of the fridge. You know, like one of those crappy calendars you get from elementary school or middle school sometimes. Curly, y'all told me I was dumb for keeping this what to do in a situation themed calendar from 3 years ago. Well, now it's a situation, so who's the dumb one now? She licks her thumb and starts flipping through the calendar pages, while Rick and Shane just look at each other like, huh? Rick looks around the bloody kitchen. What the hell happened? What situation? Damn, my first day back at home and already some shit. Can't even snag a nap or nothing. Shane, yeah, Curly, you always getting on our case about mopping up. What happened? You run out of tampons? He and Rick laugh like a couple of cavemen with lobotomies and elbow each other in the ribs. Yeah, that's some basic ass bitch humor right there. Rick, hot damn, you bold. I ain't never heard somebody make a joke like that before. Curly just looks at them like, it's that like, maybe I can get the camera to show it. It's like this face right here. Like the ugh face. Then she looks straight into the camera. Where was I? Like, are these guys serious right now? She shakes her head and goes back to the calendar. Curly, reading off the various situations. Cuts and scrapes, burns, insect bites, stuff stuck in your eye, earthquake, fire, vampires, man-made monsters, and zzz. She squints at the page. Huh, there's like a stain or something on this word. I can't make it out. Oh well, here we go, Walking Dead. Oh yeah, that's a joke on it because my dad said that in the show of The Walking Dead that they never say the word zombie. That's why they say walkers and biters and dumb shit like that. But he said nobody ever says the word zombie because they just, it's a slightly alternate universe from ours, whereas they don't have that terminology or whatever. Or they would only use the word zombie in like the African traditional sense or whatever. Or some shit, so that's a joke on that. Where was I? What to do if people start acting really weird and try to bite you. They may also be covered in blood, be missing body parts of any kind, or be decomposing. Ew. She looks up. Curly, I think it's for real, you guys. We gotta get to a safe house. That's what it says here. Shane, psh, fuck that. There ain't no such mumbo-jumbo as Walking Dead. He opens the window and looks out, only to see the neighborhood looking like a war zone. Cars are crashed or abandoned all over the place. Windows are broken, and zombies are walking around, looking bloody, missing body parts and or decomposing. Shane, okay, that ain't fair. Rick, how the hell could we have missed this? Where are we supposed to go? Curly, safest place in town, the bingo hall. Let's get moving, chop chop. They all run out to the car and grab Carl on the way. I imagine he's still just like video gaming. Carl grabs his beer. They all pile into the car, every single one of them looking a hot-ass mess. Curly gets behind the wheel and speeds off down the street with screeching tires. Everyone else is thrown back in their seats from the G-force. Hey, just like in the Star Wars one. See, I recycle so much shit. Or maybe I just describe things being the same. As they go speeding along, they look out the windows and watch the zombies taking over the streets. All the trash cans are knocked over and they're fucking up people's houses and yards. Rick, there goes the neighborhood. Shane, goddamn, the one time I have 2 days off in a row and Rick is gone. This has to happen. I hope Officer Jenny's holding down the fort good at work. Officer Jenny. Cut to the police station, completely abandoned and void of people, with blood splattered all over the walls. The phone is ringing off the hook. Just a lone spinny chair slowly rolls across the floor. Cut back to the car. Curly looks ahead at the road and sees a big-ass pileup of bumper-to-bumper traffic on the road leading out of town. Ugh, yeah, that's fucking truth. Curly, ugh, I hate this shit. Why does everyone always have to drive at the same time? She honks the horn. Hey, asshole, step on it. Dude, today at the light, like, I was driving, and so, I don't know, sometimes this happens to me where, like, if I just get off the freeway or something, and I come to a light, like, the first light after the freeway, I kind of always stop, like, I automatically always think it's red, even if I'm looking straight at it and it's green, my brain just doesn't process it, like, I kind of think it's red, and I just step on the brake, And so anyway, I did that, and then I saw the shit was green, but then I was like, okay, I can go through. So then I started going through, and then it turned yellow right then, but it doesn't matter because I still had time to go through. And this fucking asshole right next to me, like, and it's a 3-lane road, and it wasn't traffic either. Like, there was plenty of room, and I was in the middle lane, and they were like on the right lane, and they were like, they honked at me, and they didn't even just honk like, like, hey fucker, like, you're not supposed to stop at green or whatever. They like leaned on the fucking horn. And they honked, like, for so long as they went past me. I'm just like, what? What? You had your own lane. You're a lane over from me. It's not like I almost hit you, motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? Some people are just so macho and fucking idiots. Like, you know that one George Carlin skit where he's talking about how, like, he wishes he could take all the macho, big-headed, meathead motherfuckers and just take them away from society and put them all in a big-ass pit together where they can all just kill each other for macho-ness until only one is left, and then you just, like, kill him and make him into burgers or some shit like that. I wish we could do that for real, because I really fucking hate this macho attitude of just, like, all the fucking time. I fucking hate that shit. Anyways, where was I? Where was I? Okay, hey asshole, step on it, as she honks the horn. Carl mutters darkly. The sheeple are gathered for the slaughter. Curly, that sounds like something my dad would say. Probably got it from him. Curly, fuck it, I know a shortcut. She goes to pull the car into a sharp and highly illegal U-turn, but at the last second another car comes speeding down the road and bangs into them edge to edge, making their car spin around on the road. Everyone, The other car speeds off and they get swiped right off the road. They break through the guardrail and go tumbling down the hillside, flipping and rolling over and over. Damn. Damn is in all caps. They land at the bottom of the hill, car right side up and everyone fine. Just the car is all dented up and the windows are busted. But still, and I imagine like all the glass fell out of the car, like none even fell in the car at them. All the glass is just out, like they're totally cool. Everyone stops screaming pretty quick. Curly, oh. She turns off the engine and gets out. Rick, shit and biscuits. We're lucky we're not in the real Walking Dead show, because we would've got our faces ripped off in that crash. Yeah, I don't know if The Walking Dead ever had a car crash in it, but probably at some point. Shane, yeah, for real, man. We would've had, like, lacerations, fractures, severations. Someone probably would've died. Or been almost about to die, and we'd be saying our goodbyes, like, in dramatic voice, baby, I love you. I love you so much. I can't let you go. Curly rolls eyes. Shane, you're so morbid. They all get out of the busted car and look around to see where they are. They find themselves in a sort of large wilderness area beneath the freeway. You know in the movie Stephen King's It, that forest type of place down below the road where the kids were always hanging out and they built a bridge over that pond one time? Just imagine something like that. Anyway, suddenly there's a rustling in the bushes. Everyone turns to look. A strange human wearing a dirty white toga comes creeping out. Toga person, in trance-like voice. Fellow human beings, it's been so long. Then another voice comes from just off screen. Other voice. Man, leave them alone. They're probably freaked out enough already. Everyone looks over at the owner of the new voice. It's a skinny black girl with her hair in braids and carrying a big-ass shotgun across her back. Toga person drops the act. You never let me have any fun. Black girl. My name's Rochelle. Welcome to the colony. Little by little, other survivors start creeping out of the bushes. Now that they see it's probably safe. Rick to Rochelle. Nice meeting you. I'm Rochelle. Oh, don't worry about names. We already know. Otherwise, you know, it's gonna be like Rick. My name's Rick. Curly. My name's Curly. And this is my son, Carl. You know, it's just awkward. Shane. Damn, she's good. Yeah, she's a copy of the script, apparently. Rochelle. Yeah, well, let me introduce you to the crew. Okay, so here's the whole crew, man. Should I say what they're from? Yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? I was, like, gonna respect whoever views this possibly's intelligence and not tell you what they're from, just let you figure it out on your own, but who the fuck cares? Okay, Rochelle is from Left 4 Dead. Okay, over here, we got Tyree. Tyree, hey, he's from the real Walking Dead, I'm pretty sure, but his name is Tyrese, but my dad and my sister just call him Tyree. It's like a nickname. Rochelle. Then we got the pregnant Russian redhead. Her name is Luba. I don't know if this chick is really named that. That's another name I just kind of fucking made up. But, that's from the new Dawn of the Dead. Newish. It's from, like, 2005 or something. I fucking hate that movie, and I have a huge grudge against it. But, there was her, you know. Rochelle. Oh. Then Luba, smoking a cigarette, you know, she's pregnant, says, Очень приятно. And it's in real Cyrillic. I went out of my way to print real Cyrillic in this. Rochelle, this is her boyfriend, Tyrone, the hella thugged out motherfucker. No relation to Tyree. Again, I don't know if his name is Tyrone or not. I should have picked something that was different than Tyree, but it's funny, whatever. Some people will probably come at me saying it's racist, but nobody will like that will probably even see this video anyway. So anyways, yeah, in Dawn of the Dead, the new one, they had two couples that I thought were cool, even though I fucking hate that movie and I think it's shit. But, they had this couple, it was like a black dude, like an inner city, like, black dude, and then, his girlfriend was like a fucking Russian, which doesn't, it makes actually sense because, they'd both be living in the ghetto together, like, the Russian poor family who has, like, nothing, living in the ghetto side by side with the black people, and shit like that, and, it makes sense, it all makes sense, either that or he ordered her off a Russian bride service, but whatever. Or they just went to the same school together. Maybe she's rich. Maybe she comes from a rich Russian family. You never fucking know. Maybe they just were in the same class in high school and they just fell in love. But I imagine it to be the Projects one. I don't know. That's just one I personally like the most. But I'm like, oh, that's unique. Because I've never seen that dynamic before in a movie. At the time. And then the other couple was like a lesbian couple, like an older lady and a young lady, and they were lesbians, and I remember this one lady was smoking a cigarette, and she just put her head backwards, and the other lady took the cigarette. But, like I said, I hate the fucking movie, I haven't seen it for so long, and if I can help it, I'll never see the movie again, because I fucking think it's stupid. I think it's sexist, and it's bullshit, and I hate it. And, it has a kid from Air Bud in it, right? Or something like that. Anyways, whatever, but I do like those couples. Oh shit, it's 21 minutes. Okay, let me just finish introducing everybody. No, fuck that. It'll take too long. Okay, next time.